The Warriors avoided an epic choke at the end of the in-season tournament game against a rebuilding San Antonio Spurs. I wanted to make another video on the Dubs' arguably best offseason acquisition, Dario Šarić, who is on a minimum contract. Let's break down how he scores and makes plays off correct reads in the Golden State offense, so let's get to it. In the Dubs' read and react offense, it has been a luxury having Chris Paul run the point when Draymond has been out. In this triple split action on the wing, San Antonio was planned on not switching off-ball screens, allowing the guards to chase the splash bros around. This action is extremely effective against non-switching defenses, and as Šarić comes for the second pick to free up Clay, Johnson's forced to trail since he's a shooter. Šarić's own man in Collins has to go up relatively high to show. This allows Šarić a free lane to roll, and Steph has strategically been placed towards the corner to not allow his man to help as well. Thompson makes a sweet bounce pass right to the rim, and Collins cannot contest his layup by Dario. Great action. Golden State has historically had great passing big men like Bogut, Draymond, and even David West. This allows plays like this pistol action to flourish in the system. When Šarić has the ball up top, he's looking at how Steph and CP3 engage. Since the Spurs are not switching off-ball picks, Sochan decides to angle his body in a denied position to dissuade Curry from using the screen, and the simple counter to this is the backdoor right to the rim. No rotation from the weak side either, and pinpoint left-hand bounce pass by Šarić leads to an uncontested layup. In my last video, I showed how Steve Kerr has for the first time implemented the Spain pick and roll in his offense, and this is pretty much due to Chris Paul and Šarić running the show. This action brings Šarić up top first for a high pick and roll, and the Spurs are playing a heavy drop while allowing Vassell to recover back to the point guard. The secondary action usually involves a guard in Pajensky to set a back screen here, but here he kinda just pops out. The Spurs realize this and scrambles for two last-minute switches, but the obvious problem with switching is a potential mismatch. CP3 immediately recognizes this and pulls a bit out, fakes the mid-range but instead dishes it to Šarić, who has deep position on a smaller man in Tre Jones. Great turnaround ball fake, and he gets a high percentage shot. I don't think the Dubs have had a great shooting big man, honestly maybe ever, so hit me up in the comments if I'm wrong. Here we have a dribble handoff involving Curry and Šarić, and Steph instantly attacks this, knowing Wemby is in a pretty high show and Sochan's trying to recover. Curry's IQ here is also so high because he never had any intention to shoot. His goal the entire time was to get further dribble penetration to attract the defense and create more space for a kick out to Šarić, wide open for a knockdown 3-ball. I love how the Warrior point guards easily predict the coverage in the Šarić high pick and roll. Chris Paul obviously has had chemistry, so in this coverage the Spurs play a simple big man drop with Collins and Braham fighting over the screen like always. Šarić will pretty much never roll to the basket in this situation, so he pops out like always as Paul makes an underrated pass for another warm-up 3. And running back on defense, the following possession, Šarić is unaffected by Zach Collins' post-up, plays great defense to get the steal, and this leads another fast break for Chris Paul to find a corner Steph Curry, and Chase Center explodes after this no-look 3. Golden State has, however, always had great passing big men. Popovich decides to throw a full court press on Chris Paul for some reason, maybe because he's old as hell so he gets a double team at half court. This creates a 4-on-3 advantage on the weak side the second the ball is kicked to Šarić. With the ball with the logo sign, I really don't know what the hell Wemby was doing up here, losing sight of GP2 on the back door. Slick pass through the arms of Wemby for an open GP2 dunk. You're really getting a deal with a good passing and shooting big man in Šarić. What a quality pickup on a minimum contract. With a dribble handoff on the right wing with Clay, you already know the Spurs coverage with Cedi Osman in a high show due to Thompson being a shooter and Vassell recovering over the screen. However, at this point Šarić had missed a couple wide open pick and pops, so he opts to roll towards the rim to switch it up. Wemby rotates over all the way from Kuminga as the weak side big man, and Pajensky smartly cuts to attract Doug McDermott. Tre Jones thinks he has the two weak side Warriors, but by this point Wemby has pretty much switched with Osman, so Jones completely loses sight of his original man in CP3. Another great pass by Šarić right into the shooting pocket for a corner 3 by Chris Paul. Zach Collins was breaking threes left and right last night, and off a rebound by Šarić, we go immediately to an empty side high pick and roll between him and CP3 again. Like always, the defensive coverage on this remains the same, with Wemby playing a drop allowing the guard to recover. Just like Steph Curry play earlier on, Chris Paul had no intention of shooting the rock this entire time. All he wanted to do was to get Wemby's attention away from the wing. Pump fake to get two guys jumping at him, and another high IQ basketball play for an open kickout to Šarić for a three-pointer. There you guys have it. I wanted to make another video on arguably Golden State's best acquisition in the offseason in Dario Šarić. Everyone's talking about Chris Paul, and rightfully so, but the underrated pickup in Šarić has bloomed in the Dubs offense, making open three-pointers and sweep passes off the Warriors guards. With another 20-point showing on efficient percentages to go along with 7 rebounds and 4 assists, Šarić is proving himself to be a valuable asset off the bench. This is some of the stuff people usually don't talk about, so I wanted to highlight another great performance by the Croatian basketball player. If you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.